Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mixed Media Mayhem. Now, I was the one that picked the recipe for today, and our ingredients are the color green, wood, and something wet. So I have my green, I have my wood, and I have my something wet, which is my gold paint that I just picked up on clearance. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I'm starting out by taking this beautiful pink fresh paper and I'm going to cut it all up because that's the kind of thing we do here. So I showed you the other side of it. It does have that really beautiful floral wreath. However, this floral goes straight up and down the page, and this is what I want to use. So the cat is definitely out of the bag. I am going to Disney. Hooray! I am so excited. I am going by myself, so yeah, I'm going to be there next Thursday. I take a red eye Wednesday night, so I'll be there Thursday through Monday. I am so excited. I'm going on a solo trip. I love solo trips, you guys. They are so much fun. Not that I don't like going with Christopher, not that I don't like going with the family, but a solo trip is a whole other experience. So if you have done a Disney solo trip, let me know, because you are my people. If you've done any Disney trip, you are my people. If you haven't done a Disney trip, you are my people. If you can share in my excitement, you are my people. Right? Like, that's how I feel. Anyway, I am fussy cutting this bad boy, and I made the decision not to deeply fussy cut it. Like, I'm not going to go in and get rid of all the creamy background paper. That's nonsense to me, right? I have no desire to do that. I want to give it a rough fussy cut so that it will pop off this green background. That's all I want to do. There is no desire to fussy cut these super thin brushed lines that are vines and leaves. I just don't have it in me, you guys. Don't even want to attempt it. So if that's your jam, then you go right ahead and do your thing. Now, I will say that this paper is super thick, and I ended up tearing while I was fussy cutting around because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. So I futz around with it a little bit while I was cutting, but you might not have noticed because I've sped this up to double time. Now, I have decided that this is going to be the way I have it laid out. I like the way that the floral placement is. I like where the castle's going to tuck in. And then I decide later on that I'm not even going to do that. I do something totally different. The castle is still tucked into the space, but the floral is in a different position, which is fine, right? Like, just do whatever feels good. Now, this is a heavy body acrylic paint from Hobby Lobby. It's the house brand. And the only reason why I got it was because it was on clearance, and my other gold heavy body acrylic paint is kind of on its last legs, meaning it's almost gone. Now, I don't pretend to know all things painting. I don't pretend to be a painter. I like painting on my scrapbook pages, right? Like, I like paint in the scrapbooks. Used to do ceramics. Now, my grandmother is a ceramic artist. But anyway, I mean, I'm using a silicone brush here, people. I like the heavy body paint because you don't need as much to get a good coating on your paper, especially a thick paper like this one. This is a Cartabella paper that I am working on. So it does what I wanted it to do. I'm happy with the gold color. I'm happy with the way it works. So I'm really excited because I also picked up a silver and a black and a white, I think. I think, maybe, I don't know. I know for sure silver. But I was happy with it. It worked for what I needed it to do. So hooray, good purchase, right? Now, excuse me. Still trying to get over this sickness that is not completely gone yet. So I am going to use these fun foams here, and that's just to give my floral some lift off of the page. Now, I was toying with the idea of putting some tulle under here. I was toying with the idea of doing some messy threads under here. But ultimately, I decided I wasn't going to do the tulle because I didn't want to spend the time, because I didn't want just straight tulle. I would want it to go around the florals, like kind of like matting the floral. And I don't want to spend the time doing that. Straight up honesty there. I'm doing this layout before I go to work, and I want to scrapbook a couple layouts before I go to work because, hello, Disney, I need to have videos ready to go, and I am behind as it is. So, need to do that. So now, I decided not to do the tulle. I decided not to do the messy threads. And the only reason why I decided not to do the messy threads, even though I think it would look really cool, coming out from some of these florals, is because I'm not sure if I want to do messy threads in my actual album. Now, my cover pages, my title pages, those things don't always have to be a representation of what's in the album, but I feel like it would be glaringly obvious, at least to me, that there's messy threads on a title page and there's nothing like that in the album. But with this page, I've got metallics, I've got florals, I've got Disney decorations, I've got wood veneer, there's those little rhinestone enamel dots. So things that will definitely be used in the album are going to be on the title page. Like I said, it's not a hard and fast rule for me, but for some reason, the threads, made me think twice. And when I thought twice about it, I decided, no, not going to happen. Now, I did decide that I needed to bring that gold paint to the edge of the paper over here because my castle was kind of just floating out there. And, you know, Disney's magical. It could be floating if it wanted to, but not in this case. So I am going to open up this package from Rosie Studio, add here, like AD, not ADD, got it out of the Scrapping Reflection shop, and then I'm going to use this Once Upon a Time wood veneer title. Now, guys, I use hot glue to put on the wood veneer title, and I don't drop it down where it needs to go in the first time I drop it down. So the hot glue is on the paper and you can see it underneath of the wood veneer. Now, I've always maintained that I don't care. I don't care if you see the hot glue. And in this case, I don't care either. Like it doesn't bother me. So, which is super weird, right? Because I'm sitting here freaking out about threads on a title page where I might not have threads later on, but glue showing up isn't like causing me any kind of strife or pain whatsoever. So anyway, I don't know how to explain it. That's the way my brain works, and your brain might work the same way, or your brain might work completely different. It's fine. Now, I didn't like that big expanse of gold up there, and I was like, why is this such a big expanse up here? Like, this isn't how I, planned it out when I was doing the fussy cutting. It's because I didn't put the flowers in the same direction. That's why. But it's fine. So I put on that little banner up there that says everyone has a story, because obviously going to Disney, there's going to be stories. And yes, I am scrapbooking before I even go to Disney. And no, I am not finished the trip that Christopher and I went on by ourselves. So yeah, doesn't matter though. I used to be hard and fast, had hard, fast rules about scrapbooking. I must scrap in chronological order. I must do this layout before that layout gets done. I must have this Disney album finished before the next Disney album. And you know what? I have just found so much more joy in my scrapbooking since I'm less rigid with my rules, right? So my rules are now, I do what I want. So yeah. So could I get rigid with how I scrapbook in the future? Definitely. But it's still doing what I want, so it all works. Now these wood veneers, I decided to color with some Copics. I did this color, and when I tried it out on the back side of the wood, I liked it, right? I was like, oh yeah, this works. And then once they were done, I was like, oh, you know what? I need a little bit more. So I got the next color up and kind of just added a little bit on the heart. And I'm thinking, yeah, this works. Like, yeah, I like the way that this looks. And then I put it on the page, and feels like it's like a bright, shocking pink instead of a pink that kind of melds into all the pinks and purples on the flowers, right? Like, it just feels shocking. But I decided to keep going and glue it down with some Nuvo. And I do have to say that larger Nuvo bottle feels a little bit weird in my hand, probably because I'm so used to using the smaller bottle. It's just a little awkward. You know, when you have such practice movements and you just get to do the same thing over and over with it, it's like you don't even have to think about it. I have to think about holding the Nuvo bottle. So I guess that just means I need to practice more with it. More glue. I am using Ornament Gold Chroma Mist from Brutus Monroe, and I will just kind of sprinkle that all over the paper. But I'm really getting bugged by these hearts, right? Like, they're bugging me. So I decided to go for a darker Copic color, and probably all the diehard Copic enthusiasts are like, you're using your Copics to color wood veneer. Like, that's not their intended purpose. You should be coloring beautiful, colorful creations. And you know what? They're my Copics. I bought them. Although for super cheap, I still bought them. So I'm going to do what I want with them. You know, you feel me? But then I was like, daggone it, I still don't like these hearts. I thought about just ripping them off the page and letting it go, because I've already got my wood veneer, I've already got my green, and I've already added the wet things. Like, the paint and the mists are the wet things. So I'm like, maybe I'll just pull them off the page. I'm like, no, I want the hearts on the page. I want the hearts on the page. So I grab this white acrylic ink that I just got. And if you watched the art journaling page on, when was that? Wednesday? You'll see me use them. Not in a great way. And really wasn't happy with where I left that layout with. But if you didn't watch that video, I stopped the art journal where I stopped because my products were starting to dry on my brushes and stuff. So I went to go clean them off in our utility sink in the laundry room, and I dropped one of the paintbrushes down the drain, and I went into a spiral, freaked out, and just was like, I'm done. So I'll probably revisit that art journal and finish doing some things in it, but not that night. So now I am going to go ahead and use a brush and brush on this white acrylic ink over top of the hearts. So the good thing is that it is not such a solid level of paint that you can't see through it. So the hearts are now white, but they've got a pink undertone to them. And I like the way that this looks a whole heck of a lot more than any of the renditions of me coloring the wood veneer. Now, that's not to say that I've colored wood veneer in the past and not been completely happy with the results, but this time it just wasn't working for me. So, happy with this. I've got the gold splatter everywhere. I've got my wood veneer hearts. Now I'm going to add on little finishing touches. So, I'm going to grab some of these puffy hearts off of this got wood on the brain, this word phrase. And then I'm going to grab these guys. Now, I think these are beautiful. They're like rhinestones, but they've got a bit of gold kind of flake on them. And I think that they're gorgeous. So, I don't know. Now that I've created this first layout, I kind of feel like my theme for the Disney trip, the solo Disney trip, is going to be kind of florally and what I consider kind of romantical, which is weird since it's a solo trip, but whatever. I don't know. Once I go and take the pictures, I'll figure out if this is the theme I want to go with or I'm just going to have flowers in it. But I'll figure that out next week when I come back. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out everyone who is playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. Post your creations in the group. I'd love to see what you come up with my recipe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.